Hello everyone, Xfluen here, and today I'm playing a full rarity stacked Aurabot. So we have over 500 increased item rarity drop for the squad, over 7k ES for survivability, maxed out all of the resistances including chaos, a bunch of debuffs for easier map clear, and huge area of presence for even juicier drops. I'm not here to kill, I'm here to make a loot explode for the group. Also, subbing to the channel would be divine move. And now let's dive to the details. So we are playing as Ritualist, and this is probably the best Ascendancy if you're planning to go with Aurabot. Just because if we look at the skill tree, it gives +1 ring slot and 25% increased bonuses gained from rings and amulets. In the same time, it gives a lot of charm charges. Also, it gives +1 charm slot, so basically we can save up a little bit on the belt with 2 charm slot only, since this gives us 1 extra one. So we have all 3. And this one can consume mana instead of the charms if you don't have enough charges. So basically this is probably the best one, and those bonuses from the rings and extra ring slot is just too good to pass on. So as I mentioned, we're playing Ritualist. We have over 7k ES. We have 750 mana with Mind over Matter, so we are having like 7.8 over 7, near 7.9k total HP pool. We capped all our resistances. We are CI, so we are immune to chaos, damage and bleeding. We have resistances even overcapped, because if we have some really bad modifiers like minus to all resistances, we can still feel pretty okay. And also we are having 51.7 movement speed modifiers, so we can actually run quite fast. It's probably not the fastest one, but at least with this one we can catch up with whoever cleans the maps, and in this way we can stay as near as possible. So now probably first let's go through the skill tree. So on the skill tree, we are moving here for some evasion rating. We do not really care about this. We want to increase movement speed, and dex. Then we are starting to go right here. We are taking all the points which we need for our items and gems. We are taking 4% movement speed here, plus dexterity and int. We are getting here plus 24% increased maximum energy shield. So we're trying to get the nodes with most energy shield as we can get. Then we're moving up to the top. We are taking all those nodes as well for increased maximum energy shield, like here, and increased movement speed while we have energy shield. Then we're moving up next. We are taking Eternal Youth, so basically we can heal with our HP potions to our energy shield. So it's actually feels really nice to have this while mapping. Then we're moving up right here. Same story for the increased maximum energy shield. And moving up on the top, we are taking CI, obviously, so we don't need to care about chaos damage and bleeding. And maximum life is 1, but we're not stacking life, so it's quite okay. Then we're moving in forward. We're taking plus 25 int. We're taking 60% increased maximum energy shield. Once again, as I said, just trying to get the most nodes for ES. Moving down here just to have the jewel socket. Then moving up to the left side, we're taking all those small nodes for the maximum energy shield, plus 1 to all elemental res. We're moving up here. Same story, energy shield from equipped focus and reduced effect on curses of you, but this is not really as much as important as energy shield. We are taking mind over matter, obviously, so basically whenever monsters will hit us, the first they will take out mana and only then ES. Then we're moving up here. We are taking those 3 nodes for increased presence of area and a little bit of spirit. We're moving here, same story, for a little bit of maximum energy shield, like here and here. Then moving on here for same thing, maximum energy shield, as much as we can get. We are passing right here, so we can grab this jewel socket, and we're going back to the middle. We're taking aura skills has 5% increased magnitudes. We're moving up there to take some energy shield nodes as well, and a little bit of armor. Armor doesn't really care much, but those are quite nice stats to have for your own survivability. And then I'm right now moving up to this point so we can get presence of area, and here 30% increased presence, and aura skills have increased magnitudes. So basically there it is where I am right now. I'm quite low level, I'm 89 only, so probably after that I'll move up somewhere else. Maybe I'll just grab this jewel socket or even this one, not sure. So when we covered all the skill tree, we can go through the jewel slots probably. So for the jewel slots, we're using 3 Grand Spectrum Sapphires, just because it gives plus percentage to all elemental resistances per socket at the Grand Spectrum. And also I got this nice corruption on this one as well, so we are having one jewel here, second jewel here, which gives 5% all elemental res, and here same thing, 5 to all elemental res. After that I'm using 2 normal rare jewels. Basically what I was looking for, only for the increased presence area of effect and increased energy shield from equipped focus. So in this case we can have big presence area and quite a lot of increased energy shield. And one more jewel is right here with the same thing, increased presence area of effect and increased energy shield from equipped focus. If we can see to my presence radius, I cannot even see where it ends, so it's really big one. And now since we open inventory, we can check out through the items. So for the items we are using Scepter, with a Purity of Fire skill, so it grants us a little bit of fire res. Also allies in your presence deal 84% increased damage, so this is nice to have, so all your allies will have quite a big increased damage. We have flat added lightning damage, we have some accuracy rating, increased critical hit chance, 40% increased mana, we do not care about this, and 76% increased presence of area. And we also using 2 talismans, so allies in your presence deal 30% increased damage. So basically with this one we are having quite a lot of increased damage for our allies. Moving on next, Alpha's Howl, probably one of the best items which we can find, just because of presence radius is doubled. Also it gives 100% spirit, it gives us flat res, which is really nice. Also I'm using 2 Bear Talisman for increased area of effect even more. Then moving on next, focus. For the focus is ES base, so we try to get as much ES as we can get. So we have 2 runes of iron, so we have increased energy shield. Also it gives us triple res, because since we're using quite a lot of unique items in our build, it gets in really tight spot where we can like cap our resistances on which items. So basically on focus you have to have like at minimum 3 resistances with high rolls, so if you want to cap those. Moving on next to the amulet, gold amulet, just because of increased rarity. So amulet, increased rarity and increased rarity. And then we are having some strength and lightning res. We allocated long distance relationship for 30% increased presence even more. Then we're moving up next for the armor, Warrior Invictus with 5 slots. In those 5 slots we're using Rabbit Talismans for increased rarity, and for Warrior Invictus we chose +5 to all attributes, plus 10% increased global defenses. So global defenses counts as ES, so we get basically 50% increased ES from this armor, and 7% to all elemental resistances per socket filled. Then we are rocking 3 and various gold rings, obviously, just to have as much rarity as we can get. So we are using 3 of those. It gives us downside minus to all elemental resistances, so that's why we're trying to get as much items where it's non-unique with as much elemental resistances as we can. So we are using those rings, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, with as much as rarity as we can get. Then we combine it together with obviously ingenuity. So at this case I have pretty nice one. I have 35 on the left and 33 on the right. So this one boosts our rarity quite a lot. For the gloves, best in slot. We need this item. Without this item, build will not work, just because of enemies in your presence killed by anyone count as being killed by you instead. So in this case, this is how we are juicing our map drops, and whenever anybody kills anyone while we are in that presence, it counts as we killed it. And since we are stacking quite a lot of rarity, so almost 500 without the charms, it counts as we killed it. Also, I'm using 2 soul cores for elemental resistances. Moving on next, we're using boots, obviously, with as much movement speed as we can get. So we got this one, 35% increased movement speed. We corrupted it, we get additional nice 5% increased movement speed. We have 1 slot. In that slot we're using increased presence area of effect. So as I said, our presence of area is so big we cannot even see where it ends. And in this case we are trying to get ES base and rarity, and then resistances for whatever we can fix it. So basically this is all the items we're using. It's quite all of this is not really cheap. I think the total price was around from 200 divines, maybe 200, 220, maybe even 250. I do not really remember. And this is how we play with it. So moving up next, let's go through the gems real quick. So using Purity of Fire, just so we have fire resistance for us and for our allies in case they will need, but it's mostly we are mostly using it for us, so we have quite a lot of fire. Then we're using 3 gems here, which is currently bugged, but it doesn't give us much of the things like this: 2% of maximum life recovered on kill, increased mana regen, and increased recovery from life flasks. So moving up next, the main skill is Blasphemy. On the Blasphemy we're using Temporal Chains and Enfeeble. So Temporal Chains basically curses the enemies so they move slower, and for Enfeeble we take like all the monsters around, deals less damage. Also we're using Heightened Curse, Magnified Effect, and Ritualistic Curse. Moving up next, we're using Mana Remnants. With Mana Remnants we're using Magnetism, Dissipate, and Interlude. So we are getting a little bit of mana back, and since we are using Mind over the Matter, so in this way we are like sustaining our mana. Then we're using Alchemist Boon. So on Alchemist Boon we are giving a little bit of healing for our allies in that presence, and once again, since our presence is really big, we can use those for our allies. Same thing, we're using Ghost Dance for Ghost Dance, just for another defensive layer. So we can recover energy shield equal to 5% of your invasion. So this is a little bit like small thing just to have a little bit of more. Also, I'm having still 63 spirit, so it's not finished. I'm just looking what else we can put it on. And as you've seen before, we're using almost 500 rarity for the item drops. So basically, this is where this goes. As I said before, this is not really cheap build. And for this one, you are not doing any kind of damage, because we're not using any kind of damaging skills at this point. We're just running around whenever anybody kills, and we're just boosting the drops in this way. So it's best to have somebody who is carrying you through the maps as more juiced as possible, with probably, if you can get with a maximum party members, so we can juice the drops even more. So this is where the build is right now. It's really fun to play. I did a couple of maps with some of the friends, and in those couple of maps we just basically got plenty of things. So like, just to get an idea, like I collected 300 simulacrum splinters, I got 300 breach splinters, I got 3 raw divine drops, I got Antvarius, which is like probably around 2 divines. We got Vision of Paradise, which is also like 2 divines, and some small currency like chaos, and plenty of the exalts and other stuff, which I didn't even loot because it just takes too much time. We're trying to be as quick as possible, so just taking the biggest loots and finishing the map as fast as possible, and after that we're just moving up to the next map. So there is the build. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. And for now, that's it. So stay chill, hit hard, and see you in the next one.